Disclaimer: this is audio horror fiction. If darkness or the creatures it holds scares you, leave now. Still listening? Good. Then let's begin. I currently work for a small family-run wholesaling business. Our office has a main area that opens up into 4 other rooms. 2 doors on the left about 30 feet apart, separated by a large table, a large door straight back, and a door to the right for the bathroom. It's a good job, and most of the time I work alone in the office, getting orders ready, which is always nice since I can just play my music and get my work done at my own pace. Fairly recently, my boss decided to install several security cameras since he was planning on bringing extra employees in, and he's a bit worried about theft. This didn't bother me at all since he was letting me set everything up and monitor the footage. Everything was going fine for the first couple of days until this morning. While I was working, I could hear strange scratching noises like an animal running across the carpet. I didn't pay it any mind since I have a small rodent problem at my house, and the noise reminded me of a mouse or rat. I decided I'd just bring some trash from home the next day and try and get rid of it. My day dragged on with little occurrence until I began closing up. When I began my closing routine of going room to room and turning off all the lights and closing the doors, I heard a couple of loud popping noises behind me. I wasn't sure what this could have been, but I simply attributed it to a bulb going out as I turned the lights off. I then headed to the bathroom before locking up and leaving for the night. When I got home from work, I remembered I hadn't tried out the software I set up on my laptop, which allowed me to view the camera's footage, and I thought I might be able to catch a glimpse of the mouse in the office. I got my laptop ready and went to sit down, but before I could, I heard that damn scaring noise coming from my living room. I walked into the living room trying to find the source and made a mental note of setting up more mouse traps sooner than intended. I sighed and went back into the kitchen. I sat down at the table with my laptop ready to watch the day's footage. The first few hours weren't too exciting, although it's strange watching yourself go about your day when you're alone. I fast-forwarded the video and finally caught a glimpse of something about 3 hours into my day. When I watched the footage, I noticed that in one of the back rooms a large object appeared to skitter past the doorway. I kept trying to re-watch it, but I couldn't be sure. It looked much bigger than a mouse, but I just continued the footage. And then I saw it. A face was staring out of the room. The face was low to the ground, just barely visible from the bottom right corner of the doorway. I could barely move as I watched. Whoever it was had to be crawling on all fours to be that low to the ground. It was hard to make out many features, but I could see a large grin stretching from ear to ear as it watched me from the room. I never even saw it while I was working. I even walked into the room to grab product. It seemed to stay still until I began closing up for the day. When I went into the room and turned the light off, it began to follow me. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't even pause the video because I just couldn't handle staring at that thing much longer. Its limbs jutted out at unnatural angles. It began to move forward in a jerky fashion. It stood up and its limbs started snapping back into place. I watched in horror as I realized that this creature was the source of the popping noise I had heard. The thing appeared to be a small woman wearing a filthy tattered dress. Her hands were abnormally long and ended in small slender fingers tipped with sharp claws. Her face was sunken in. The eyes were just 2 empty pits caked with dried blood, but the worst part was her mouth. It was way too large to have ever been human. When she grinned, I could see hundreds of tiny needle-shaped teeth. I couldn't stop staring at that awful grin. I watched myself walk into the bathroom and close the door. As I closed the door, the thing approached. It shot from the room to the bathroom door so quickly that the camera was barely able to keep up. It stood in front of the door and just stared, waiting for me to come out. It stood there for a couple of minutes before it slowly turned toward the camera, and within the blink of an eye, its entire face took up the entire screen. I screamed and slammed my laptop shut. When I finally got the courage to open it back up, the screen was completely black. My laptop had gone into sleep mode, and all I could see was my reflection in the computer screen. As I started to breathe a sigh of relief, my breath caught in my throat as I heard the skittering noise come to a stop behind my chair. I sat frozen in horror, watching through the reflection of the computer as the popping noises began and her face came visible over my shoulder, grinning from ear to ear. Thank you all so much for listening. If you enjoyed this story, leave a like and subscribe to help feed the dark machine. If you have a story you would like me to read, check the description below and be sure to share with other fans of horror.